This is SDR News and Geekazine.com's coverage of NAB, brought to you by HP.
HP Storage Guy Calvin Zito, continuing coverage from NAB here in the HP booth. I'm with Jim McKenna. Jim, you're the VP of Marketing at Facilis Technology. I know you're partnering with HP, but for folks that don't know what you do, give us an overview of what Facilis Technology does.
Sure. Facilis Technology has been around since 2003. And we started out just making post-production shared storage. And we came into a shared file system. We developed some things around multi-platform shared file systems. And now we're really a leader in content creation, post-production, shared file system, and shared storage for television, film, and content creation on several verticals.
So you guys were really on that leading edge of shared storage for video production, because HP was looking at this space in early 2000. There weren't too many people that could figure out how do you get a group of of editors to share storage in an environment.
We were the first company that actually supported shared HD production, to where uncompressed HD could be shared by more than one station. We were the first to ship 4 gig fiber channel, the first to ship 8, and the first to ship 16 gig fiber channel. So we've always been a little bit ahead of the curve in technology.
So that's a kind of a big space when you talk about production, because there are a lot of companies out there doing post. There's from the movie studios to little boutiques. Who do you guys kind of target with what you're doing?
Well, the boutique post-production is really our sweet spot, because we have a very flexible solution. It's very high bandwidth, yet allows for a lot of collaboration. The shared file system is very extensible. It's a scale-out shared file system. It can be 1 gigabit Ethernet. It could be fiber channel, 16 gig fiber for true 4K DPX uncompressed playback, and it can be 1 gig Ethernet for highly compressed HD workflows, multi-stream compressed HD. So really, the places that are doing multiple different things with the same video, boutique post-production style, where you could be asked to do anything from red footage to film scan, all the way down to just a highly collaborative compressed HD workflow.
So I got to step in and watch your booth presentation just for a second. You were talking about a solution called, I think it was TeraBlock. Yep. Tell me a little bit about what TeraBlock is, and what would somebody do with TeraBlock?
Sure. TeraBlock is the shared storage server, and that's basically the appliance. Some people will call it sand in a can, sand in a box. It's everything. It's the storage, it's the motherboard, it's the connectivity is straight out of that, and our shared file system lives on that box as well. We can expand that with multiple SAS expansions or multiple servers to make it a huge environment, or we can start out very small and it scales down to to a very small level. So we can accommodate the smaller post-production facilities as well. But that is the basis for all of our products in this market.
It sounds like a lot of the IP you did was around the shared SAN, but obviously there's hardware involved here. Do you guys, is it your own hardware in terms of the lower tiers of, or the higher tiers of storage in disk?
Well, we definitely qualify best of breed hardware out in the market, but we're not looking to create new hardware. The hardware that's out there is really some of the best that's been built, and we're a software company that wraps our software in a hardware chassis, and we do that because turnkey solutions are much easier to support. The clients are usually happier, and for us, we need to be able to control the entire experience of the customer and not just at the point of sale.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about the disk, but obviously one of the things that has emerged lately, especially with LTFs, is using tape as an archive, and I assume you're probably here because you guys are using LTFs and HP LTFs in your system. Tell me a little bit about that.
That's right. LTFS for us was a great opportunity to get into the tape archive and backup field, because it allowed tape to be presented in a way that was much more simple for our creative customers. Our creative customers is really the basis for what we do. We have a lot of owner-operator shops and people that don't have a lot of IT or engineering staff on hand. So they need to be able to use whatever hardware we give them very simply. They need a simple UI, they need a simple methodology of moving data around. So the LTFS for us was a perfect opportunity to introduce LTO5 and now LTO6 into that market.
So are you guys doing your own software on top of that, or are you just using the HP LTFS software for that part of the archive?
We use the HP LTFS to present the device, of course, and then we use some software as a data mover. So it's a very light piece of software, so we can accommodate it on a server itself. Even though the server its main purpose is to be a SAN and to share out data to all the clients, we can still utilize this little piece of software just to move data. And LTFS makes it so you don't need a heavy application that has all these tape drive functionalities and tape control functionalities, because it's just a device at that point. So that's what makes it beautiful for us.
Well, I'm excited for me personally, because I've worked with these LTFS guys for a long time, and I finally convinced them to send me an LTF or an LTO drive. So I've actually probably got one delivered at home that just arrived yesterday, and I'm going to go home and start using LTFS with my video files. So I'm excited to have personal experience with that. But last question for you, for the boutique post-production companies that may be watching us now and say, hey, these guys have a value proposition that sounds interesting to me. How can they find you guys on the web?
Sure, Calvin. First, you need a better hobby than that, man. When you get home, you should be going fishing or something, not dealing with LTO. But on a separate note, if you want to get in touch with us, you can go to facilis.com, www.facilis.com, and look for TeraBlock, and that's our solution. You can talk to us here at NAB. It's booth 7606 in the South Hall Lower.
Great. Well, thanks for spending some time with us. I hope the rest of NAB is a success for you, and we'll see you around the show.
Great. Thank you very much, Calvin. Thanks to HP.